Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. It's Doug here. In today's video lesson, we're going to be talking about how to build vocal stamina so that you can sing live and record songs in one take. Let's do it. So before we get started with this video, I just want to let you know that I've taken my most recent YouTube videos and uploaded them as a podcast. So if you're interested in just getting the audio version of these videos, go ahead and use the RSS link which I put in the description below, and you can copy and paste that into your favorite podcasting app. This is Podcast Addict, which I really like, and you'll be able to see the feed of just the audio versions of my YouTube videos. If you haven't seen it already, last week I uploaded an acoustic version of my song called A Life Worth Living. I did it as a live performance here on my YouTube channel, and you can go and check that out. And the fact that I just uploaded that video is what is making me talk about this topic of live singing today, because I'm going to tell you all the tips and tricks that I learned from, preparing that song to perform live for you. And, all the things that I've learned from singing live in the past too. So what I want you to understand about singing live, the main idea is that you need to make sure that your voice is functioning freely, not becoming tight and tense. And I want you to understand that it needs to feel good when you're singing. So there's still going to be some effort in the voice, and I'll talk about that soon. But it shouldn't hurt. You shouldn't feel a strain in the throat. It shouldn't be raspy. You shouldn't lose your voice. None of that. What you will feel is definitely some effort. You might feel a pressure in the belly and pressure in the throat. That's okay, as long as it's manageable and it still feels good. There's a distinction between singing with effort in a way that still feels fine. It's just a bit of effort, in the same way that going for a jog might not necessarily hurt, but it still requires a certain amount of bodily effort, right? It's kind of the same thing. But when it comes to singing live, and especially in one take, you really want to avoid any sounds that might hurt or disturb the voice, because every single line you sing affects each one. So if you're making mistakes in the first line of the song, the second line is going to pay for it. So the first thing that I want you to understand when it comes to singing songs live without introducing tension is that any notes that you're singing that you're unable to go from a louder coordination to a softer coordination is going to be tight and not very free. Okay, so what do I mean by that? I mean that if you are singing a louder, more higher pitched song, for example, and the sound that you're making is very almost shouted and loud, and you're unable to take the volume out a little bit to be able to soften it up a bit, it means that your voice is stuck and tight. Okay, I'll show you an example. So the chorus of my song goes like this, and I'll sing it in a really, poor technique way. I'll just kind of yell through it, just to show you. Dead end thoughts in the dead of night. So you see what I did at the start there? I yelled the dead. Dead end. That's really not the way you want to be singing. And what I said about needing to be able to go softer into the sound to be able to really have the note is this. You need to be able to put a fade in on any high note that you want to sing, any mid-range note you want to sing, and basically just be able to smooth between a soft volume and a loud volume wherever you are in the voice. If you can't do that, you're experiencing some sort of tension, or your voice is not developed as much as it needs to be free. Okay? So I'll show you an example of how you actually need to approach it. You hear how I'm going from a soft sound? It's not very loud at the start. I'm going loud at the end of it. And this is what it sounds like all together when you sing it fast in a live sort of tempo in the right technique. Dead end thoughts in the dead of night. Quite smooth. Dead end thoughts. Dead. I'm not going dead. That's just bad. You could hear the tension. You could hear the break that came through. You want to avoid that. What I'm telling you now is incredibly important. Like I said, if you cannot soften the note that you're singing, whether it be in the higher range, the middle of your voice, even the lower range, if you cannot go from a loud sound to a more quiet sound and then back to the loud sound, there is some sort of tension that's stopping you, and you need to build your voice further, build your technique up further. So one more example is the next line, holding. So for me to be able to sing this consistently, I need to be able to fade in on the word holding. I'll give you an example. Holding on, holding on. If I just slam the H sound like this, holding on, my voice will get hoarse, my voice will get tight. And, on the other side of that, if I go too quiet, holding on, it won't connect either. So you've got to find this perfect balance of a softer sound and a louder sound by being able to roll up the weight from a soft sound. So what I mean by that is this. Holding on. So you could take any song that you're trying to sing, take any phrase that you're finding difficult, and just try and sustain that note that you're having trouble with, and try and go from a loud volume to a softer volume. So it might be like, ah. If you can't do that on every note you're trying to sing, there is some sort of tension that's blocking you, and you need to develop your voice further. So the next strategy that I'll leave you with for trying to reduce the tension in your voice when singing songs live and be able to record in one take is taking the opportunity to take a breath as much as you can. Okay? So as many opportunities that you get in a song, whether it be a pause where you don't have to sing a line, you want to be able to relax your body, relax the tension that's in your body, and take another breath. So this will reset the support system. As I just said, it will allow you to relax a little bit between each line and not build up all this tension in the throat or wherever the tension builds up when you're singing. And yeah, it's just incredibly useful, and it will make singing feel better. I'll show you an example now of how often I have the opportunity to take the breath when singing my song A Life Worth Living, specifically in the verse. You can apply this to whatever song you're doing. And actually, the 5-day free course, which you might have seen me posting on my YouTube channel, etc., goes into detail with this. So if you're interested in that, go and check that out. I'll show you this demonstration right now. So obviously I'm going to take a breath at the start. So breath. And I refuse my own reality and lose myself each time. Breath. I've double crossed and I've doubled down. Breath. I bet against the line. Breath. And if I choose to stay or throw away the world I couldn't bear. Breath. Would I stare into the mirror to breath? Remind myself I'm here. Awesome. So you saw, I don't know how many times I did it, 6 or 7 times in just 4 lines. That's quite a lot. I could have gotten away with less breaths, but what I'm trying to show you here is just how much opportunity you have to take the breath, and basically be more aware of the spaces where you're not taking the breath, where there might be tension. So if you feel like you're struggling with a certain part of the song, the breath might be something you want to be aware of. And as I just said, in my 5-day free course, I talk about this and how to actually outline where in the songs you should take the breath. But more importantly, I actually have a video on how to actually breathe for singing, a new one in that course. So if you need to check that out, go ahead and do that. It's lesson 2. What I want to tell you is that what I showed you was only 2, steps in the whole process of reducing tension in your voice, because the real answer to being able to sing songs live and without tension is to keep developing your voice and keep developing your technique. Okay, so there's more you could adjust. For example, I'll just give you a short list. You most likely need to learn to sing the vowels in a more correct way, which reduces the tension in the voice. So you might be singing the wrong vowel. I'll give you another example. Your jaw might actually be too closed when you're singing, okay? You might actually be slamming the words of every song that you're singing. So you might be singing, I refuse, and hitting every single word too hard. But what I tried to do here today was just give you a couple of strategies that you can apply to your voice, which was the fading in and out of the notes that you're trying to sing, the test to see if your voice is tight or not. And secondly, approaching the breath in a way that's more strategic and pre-planned. So that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to leave me a like. Remember that you can get the audio version of my YouTube videos now. The link is in the description of this. And yeah, just honestly leave me a comment if you had any questions about this topic. You can even submit a question that you might want me to make a YouTube video on. You can definitely go ahead and follow me on Instagram or Snapchat. And why don't you just send me a video or an audio clip of you singing live? I'll be able to help you there. So as always, thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.